Hello, and welcome to a new episode of Wisdom Wednesday. This week, we are interviewing Hussein Wehbe, who came up with a unique idea to contribute to frontliners and to appreciate good service. Hello, everyone, to a new Wisdom Wednesday. Our guest today is Mr. Hussein Wehbe. Uh, Welcome, Mr. Hussein.
Thank you, Masoud. Pleasure to be with you on your super podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us. Mr. Hussein, before we start, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Look, I'm a human being. That's how I introduce myself. Maybe I have a bit of long corporate experience. I've worked in the delivery industry in specific. I worked in the private and public sector. I had a very exciting journey with multinational companies, with local companies. And this is, I think, where I got my real experience. And I'm here to share my practical experience. I'm not going to get you anything from Google or any research. It's just sharing with the audience whatever we have learned in those 2021 years.
Amazing. You actually got to answer my next question. My next question was, who is Hussein as a human? We can find your experience online. We can find it on LinkedIn. If we research a little bit, we can get to know what Hussein used to do, what was his position and all that. But as a human being, who's Hussein?
Well, I'm never a perfect person. I always aim for learning and learning more. But I think the way I live, the way I work is through my people centricity. I'm a very people centric person. Sometimes it backfires because you're very approachable. Mm-hmm. I hate ego. I hate being unapproachable. And the way I think this is one of the recipes for your success in your business. When you're very much people centric, you care about people, you help people, not for the sake of expecting any return. In fact, for the sake of expecting a return favor for somebody else when you approach them to help somebody else. I think it's like a domino effect.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. This is a very interesting approach, Hussein. Helping people without actually expecting anything in return. How this affects your daily life?
Ask me about it. Look, it's very exhausting. It's not stressful. In fact, it's very exciting. It gives you that adrenaline of the pleasure of helping people. I hate the word helping. I usually rephrase it by guiding people. Mm-hmm. Let's say, be it they want to get help in getting jobs, or they're just struggling from any corporate issues, because I speak a lot about the corporate issues and culture in specific. Mm-hmm. So by opening your door, you barely have time for yourself. So you're more dedicated to the community and to the people. But till now, I can take it. I'm trying to split my time between family, between work, and between helping the community. So this will never stop. I think this is a commitment which I decided to do. Many people disagree with this, and they tell me, why you do this for free? Mm-hmm. There's nothing called helping people and getting money. Mm-hmm. So I enjoy it, really. It gives me the self-satisfaction. It's something within me. It gives me that satisfaction that at least I'm trying to do a fraction of what many others can do as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, for me, it kind of opening up an opportunity to actually look for people who need help and start helping them. If you look at it from that angle, and instead of I'm the boss. No, let me know how can I help you. After some time, you will start actually looking for opportunities to help people around you.
Look, Masoud, the way I see it is many people approach you for help, okay? And sometimes you can help and sometimes you cannot. But if you cannot help, at least try to guide them who can help them. Mm-hmm. I receive a lot of messages about people, they want jobs, they want opportunities, which I really don't have access to because I'm not a recruiter. So the first thing I tell them, at least I guide them, I tell them you need to get in contact with people who work in companies that are interesting to you, and then they may help you at least with an interview. So I think with a small sentence, you're helping a lot and guiding those people. And let me tell you something: you cannot help anyone whom you don't really know when it comes to going deeply into recommending a person
Mhm.
or putting your stamp on that person, because you have never worked with that person or you have never deserve to be helped or not. So that's how I filter. Sometimes I miss a lot of messages and I feel bad for that, but sometimes it becomes too much. So if you help 2 out of 5, at least you've done something, and I have to leave the rest for other people, because if I'm doing that, I think millions of people can do that without expecting any return. And trust me, it costs few minutes only.
Yes, interesting, interesting. I've seen that you're posting something very recently on customer service, and I really like
Yes.
the approach that you're taking. I was amazed by you posting about almost random people that you meet on your daily life, right? Where
Yes.
did that
Look, this
came
is a
from?
mission.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you where did that came from, because this is my favorite topic. I can speak with you for 2 hours about this.
Wow.
I used to see always the reviews come to companies. You see hotels, you see any institution, they get 5 stars, 4 stars for the brand itself. But nobody really acknowledges the real people behind those stars, the real heroes, whom I call them heroes, because they are the ones who are giving the good service and creating that customer experience and that great experience, which gives the 5 stars for the hotels and for the airports and for the retail outlets. So I said, you know what? Many people serve me in a perfect way, be it on the cashier, be it on the sales, be it a security guard, a taxi driver, an airport operator, even sometimes a policeman or somebody in the customs. These people deserve to be acknowledged. So an idea came to me is, you know what? I need to create a platform where I can expose them. So I have appointed myself officially the ambassador of the frontliners, maybe starting in the Gulf region and hopefully across the world. These people should be amplified. You should really acknowledge the good work. Let me tell you why. For 2 things. First of all, it gives them more motivation to deliver better service in the companies that they work for. And it aligns, especially with the UAE's aim of becoming the #1 country in the world when it comes to service. So when you work on such things and you amplify such people, they will uplift the service levels in the country gradually, and you will really reach a perfection in that. Secondly, those people sometimes they are super performers, but nobody sees them from other companies. So if they are, let's say, on a very junior level, but they can be qualified to become customer service team leaders, maybe in the future when I expose them, another employer will see their value and they will capture them and they will employ them and give them a better salary. They will leverage on their experience and they will really recruit the best people in town. So that's really my purpose. It's not a business, it's a mission. That's why I created my TikTok account for that. And I have a lot of queues of people whom I plan to do that. But I never do it in a planned way. So when I go to a restaurant, when I go to a supermarket, if I see exceptional service, instead of only saying thank you for the good service, I take a video, I give them a 5 stars, and I expose them to the whole world.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Because we often see a lot of complaints exposed, especially on social media, when I don't like something, or people when they don't like a service, or um, um, a way that a person dealt with them, they will put an effort to actually complain and take that to the next level, to just let me put it this way, to feed their ego. It's actually
Bravo.
feeding their ego. How dare that person deals with me like that? I was expecting something better, but I didn't get it. So let me put a complaint. And they actually, I saw people actually making the effort to go and complain. They put a time, they go to the head office and actually put or write a complaint about a person. Well, this is the first time, honestly saying, throughout my entire career, I've been working for almost 17, 18 years. This is the first time that I see someone actually going the extra mile and appreciating an extraordinary service from a person. That really stopped me, and I was like, wow, I should start doing the same as well.
Of course, of course. Masoud, let me tell you something. I have a rule in life. You praise in public, but you complain in private. That's very important. Because when you complain publicly, you're not only hurting the brand itself, you're hurting the employees. Maybe if one employee did a small mistake, thousands of others should not really be flagged as not good because of one mistake that happened. By the way I started this before doing this TikTok account and going into social media, and my Instagram account is going to be full of those, by the way. I'm dedicating my Instagram account for my friends who are on the front lines. But let me tell you how it started. I used to go, but let's say when I buy a car or buy anything, and I get a good service, I ask that employee, give me the email of your CEO. And they tell me, no, sir, why you cannot give me the email of the CEO? Your CEO is the person I need to escalate to in a positive manner. It's not allowed. I keep pushing because the CEO should be the first person who knows about the good employees rather than sitting in a fancy office somewhere on a 20th floor and acknowledge those. So I take the email of the CEO and I send my experience while mentioning that specific employee. And you know what I do? I follow up after 1 week. If he doesn't, or he or she does not reply to me, I send a reminder and I call the employee and tell him or her, did they acknowledge you or no? And if they don't do that, for me, it's a black point on that company. If they don't really do that and acknowledge their people, I will not use them again. As simple as that.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, you said something very, very sensitive here. You said always praise in public and complain in private. And it's funny that people promote that when they want to talk about the leadership term, right? As a leader, you have, for example, I worked in HR. So the way we promote it is when you want to give feedback and negative feedback for your employees, go and tell them privately. Don't just stand in the middle of the department and just shout and whatever. Give them your feedback privately. And if you want to praise him, appreciate him publicly. We do that in organizations, and a lot of people actually understand that concept, and they started to implement it in organizations. But it's funny that we don't do it in our daily life. We don't take the same approach in our daily life with normal people that we meet, and they serve us on daily basis.
And Masoud, you cannot imagine, honestly, and what keeps me doing this, and I'm going to do this forever, is how much they appreciate this, the frontliners. I mean, some of them cry, nobody really praises us. Nobody tells us thank you in public. Just, people shout at us. And this took me into a level which may put me in trouble. I don't care about that because I'm their ambassador. Sometimes if I see a customer shouting on a frontliner and I'm behind that customer, I step in. I step in and try at least to be in the middle, to put a limit for that, because nobody is allowed to treat them in a bad way just because, as you just said recently, they want to feed their ego.
Yeah.
And what I'm doing is some kind of an awareness here. I may do it for 100,000 people in a year, but again, it's just an awareness that may at least motivate other people to do that in a way or another.
Wow. I think awareness is the key. And if something that honestly I want to take out of today is spreading awareness about this specific point, spreading awareness about how would you feel if you are in the shoes of that person. All right.
I have a story. I have a story to tell you.
Yes, please go ahead.
When I work in the delivery industry for 20 years. I've been an executive in the delivery industry, but it's called the courier day. Courier day, which means we as executives and CEOs, we go down and deliver shipments once every year, one full day. I take the whole management team to the field. We wear the uniform and we go and deliver shipments. So in fact, we are undercover delivery couriers. And the horrible experience that I saw, other than how much they get tired, and it's a very, very, very tiring job, the way I was treated was horrible. The way I was treated when I enter a building, and then the way they tell me you have to go from that lift, not from this lift, as if I'm coming from another planet. The way the receptionists, some of them, of course, not all of them, they treat me when I go to deliver a parcel. They don't even look at me. They're just sitting on their computers, and they say, "Oh, put the package here," without good morning, without thank you, without anything. And sometimes customers who receive packages, they come, they want to sign, and they don't even greet me. So I saw how really those frontliners suffer from that, and that's why I decided to be their public ambassador here, because I felt that thing, and not only me, all my colleagues who never saw that felt it when they went to deliver parcels. And this can happen with all the delivery people, food delivery. You see them, they come. I mean, today I saw a delivery person delivering a parcel during iftar time. This guy should be also having his or her iftar.
Yes.
So they really take the extra mile, and they deserve all the best.
I have a story to tell.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I've recently changed my job. I used to work in HR, and I'm working in more customer centric job right now. And believe me, the last 4 or 5 months for me, I understood how customer or frontliners actually being treated by other people. And I started having so much compassion when I go and for example, yesterday I went to a shop, and it was extremely crowded. It's before Eid, and it's very crowded, and I know that it puts a lot of pressure on the employee, because I've been in his place in the morning. I was taking customers, large number of customers in the morning, and he's in my shoes now. So when I went to him, when I reached the counter, I just asked him a simple question. I asked him, "How are you coping up with Eid traffic?" And he stopped for a second, and he said, "It's very stressful, sir."
Yeah.
Yeah. So few words. I know few Tagalog words. So I told him, "Salamat po, may God bless you. I know it's not an easy, but it's just few days, it will pass. Just be strong." And you know, I know that means a lot to him. Small
Yes.
words. People are where they're shouting, fighting. We're waiting for a long time. Yeah, but think about that guy who's serving you. Uh,
And the message today, I think we need to give a message today, because the Eid is coming after a couple of days. Uh, Many people will be celebrating Eid, going to hotels, enjoying their holiday with their families. But these people are working during Eid, during the holiday, to serve you, instead of really enjoying their own time. So this is something very important. And that's why you have to treat them very well, be patient with them, acknowledge them. I think I will do during the Eid time, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 5 stars videos, because I'm going to see a lot of them across different front lines.
um, you know, um, people like to be appreciated, and I think what you're doing is just you're putting them in a platform for public to see them. And for some people, this is a lot, especially looking at their background, where they're coming from, the simplicity that they're living in, and suddenly they're on social media, and someone praising
Exactly.
them. For some people, it means the world. Just a simple gesture that anyone can actually do, but it makes a lot of difference on the other side.
Yeah. By the way, I need to also tell you something, Masood. I had one amazing customer service in a petrol station who served me in a very different way. I took a video with him, and I took his permission, because I always take the permission to post the video. And he told me, "Sir, I'm not sure, but maybe the management will not allow that." So I told him, "Where's your management? Take me in." He took me to the supermarket, and there was a supervisor there. And she told me, "Sir, it's not allowed to put a video." I told her why. First of all, you're getting a free advertisement for your brand. And secondly, I'm acknowledging a great frontliner at your company. She told me, "You have to get approvals." I called next day, they had office, and I tried to reach someone. I was connected to a couple of people, and no approval came. So he found me somehow on Instagram, and he sent me a message requesting for the video. At least he would send it to his friends to celebrate that. And this is what they do. So, but I really feel bad for management who do not allow this, because this is simple thing that they have to allow them to do. It gives them pleasure. Let me tell you from my corporate experience. Do you know why sometimes management of those people, they hate this? They don't want them to be exposed, because they will be maybe headhunted by other people who really appreciate them, which is a very bad management mindset.
Yes, yes. It's called a fixed mindset. It's like, if I
Exactly.
have a good employee, I want him here, because then it will be very difficult to find a replacement, train,
صح.
and it's a lot of effort for me. And instead, if I look at it from the other angle, if I'm truly a leader, and I've seen this a lot, Hussein, especially being in HR, I've seen this a lot. People, they love to talk a lot about leadership, but
صح.
they're not applying actual leadership.
صح. They
No
don't
one
walk the
is
talk.
actually,
صح.
when it comes to actual work and actual action, no one is willing to put the real leadership action in place.
Yes,
Rarely you can see that in organizations,
exactly.
and I think you have seen that throughout your corporate experience.
A lot, a
Um,
lot.
I would, as managers, um, um, their emails might say something, but their action shows completely something different.
Can
Um,
I tell you something?
yeah.
Usually in the corporate world, all the appreciation emails or letters that come to employees from CEOs, they don't even see them. Their secretaries or PAs, they write, or maybe the HR writes this.
Yes.
I was a CEO for maybe a considerable time. I always insisted that the letter to be drafted after I see it, so that it speaks at least what you need to tell them. And many times I used to call the employee to my office and hand over to him or her the letter by in person. It makes a very big difference, rather than having a robotic way of appreciating people. And believe it or not, because sometimes an employee will get an appreciation letter for their great performance, and
Mhm.
then when they start cost cutting, he may be or she may be the first to be made redundant. So nobody even may have read the letter and saw that this employee should stay and somebody else maybe should not stay.
Um, Hussein, um, what you did has a great impact on employees. I've seen employees who had pictures with CEO, and they kept that picture for 25 years.
صح. صح.
you know it means
Yes.
it means so much to people than cash, than any materialistic appreciation. um, it's very personalized to these people. um, I've seen people printing these pictures and putting them on their desks, and
صح.
um, so not only CEOs, Hussein, I've seen just middle management. They don't really take the step to actually get to know their employees. Just middle management.
Masoud, let me tell you something. It all depends on the way you were raised in the corporate world. I was never born like that. I'm not a perfect person, but the way I was led by great leaders, they used to lead me in this way,
Mm,
have developed my leadership skills to be the same like them. If I had leaders who were treating me in a different way, I may have emerged as a copy of them. So it's very important to understand that those people whom you appreciate and acknowledge, and they're very happy, they will do the same when you promote them and they lead people. And this becomes maybe part of your corporate culture as well. So it becomes really in the DNA of the organization.
yeah, but it also sin comes from the person himself.
So,
You can have a great leader, but if you're not hungry to improve yourself, if you're not hungry to to be um, a true leader, then it doesn't matter who's your mentor, or who is the leadership in your organization, right?
exactly.
Um, um, I had I have a nice story, another story to tell you. You reminded me with with a manager that I had once upon a time. And I remember um, I was just starting my career. Um, this is in 2000, 2005. Um, uh, we had a manager that we rarely see. Um, and when they come and ask us about the manager, where is the manager? We were like, ah, we don't know where's the manager. We didn't see the manager. Actually, they don't show up much, right? And then a few months after that, we have a change in the management, and we had another managing manager coming in, and this one was like a mother to us. Same, the way the mother treats the children, exactly the same. She was tough, she was extremely tough, but deep inside she was leading us to a better place. uh, and you know what she did for me? I will never forget what she did for me. I got an opportunity to um, go to another job, and it was in another bank, a competitor bank. I used to work in a bank, so it was a competitor bank. And I got the call for an interview, and I turned it down because I had work, and it was during working hours, and I wasn't able to attend. So I just went because she created that environment, or of a friendly environment. I went and I told her that they just called me from this bank, but it's during working hours and I cannot go. Um, you know what she did? She said, "Where's your phone?" I said, "It's on my desk." She said, "Go and get your phone." I went and I got my phone. She said, "Call the guy now and confirm the interview. I want you to go for the
Oh,
interview."
amazing.
Um, I called the guy and I went for an interview. Then I went for a second interview and I got the job. And she was actually very happy for me to go because she said, "You know what? I tried my best to get you something better in this organization, but I didn't find support from the management. So my
Yeah,
support for you is I want you to go and build yourself in a better place. I don't want you
yeah,
to stay in this position forever." Believe me, Hussein, I'll never forget this in my life because that was the door
yeah,
that
yeah.
it opened for me a door to get into HR.
By the way, Masoud, I always speak about this specific topic because your employee can be your customer tomorrow, and your customer today can be your employer tomorrow, and your supplier today can be your employer tomorrow.
Yeah.
So always you have to avoid burning bridges. I used to do the same somehow when employees used to come to me with a better offer. Not to twist my hands. They used to come to me with a better offer and they consult me, saying, "What do you think? We got a better offer in this company." I used to give them a very clear and honest advice. If it's better for them, I bless them for that. I tell them, take it, go ahead, but make sure at least to find me somebody like you before you leave, at least to do a proper handover. And when they leave, believe it or not, they become my clients. If they work in a company which has business to give me, they are the first people to come and give me business. So it backfires in a very positive manner. This is something very important, by the way, which you mentioned, because if you burn the bridges, it's gonna come back in a very bad way.
Yeah. People get affected a lot by being loyal to a certain organization. I have worked for 10 years in this organization and I don't want to change. For me, um, I look at it this way. If you have an opportunity, just go
Yeah.
and grab that opportunity. Because um, an employer will be happy as long as you're productive, as long as the things are working perfectly. But
Yes.
the people, they get attached to the organization, forgetting that for an organization, people are assets,
one
just
Hundred percent.
assets. Tomorrow the situation changed. We had COVID hitting 2020. Um, all organizations started changing their policies. They're not loyal to you as much as you are loyal to the organization. Be loyal to yourself and find something
Bravo,
that,
Alec.
you know, that feeds your passion. Don't take your job as just a job. You go in the morning and just come back and you feel low sitting with your family. Oh, I need to go to the job, you know. Find a job that you know you feel excited. Yeah, it might not be the case all the time, but I know one thing: if you keep your eyes open, something will come up, right? Opportunities are always there. The difference is, are we actually looking for these opportunities with wide open eyes, or we just closing our eyes and we are okay here, we are okay with the status quo?
So then I have something which I always say: there's nothing called loyalty for your work. Never be loyal for any company. There is something called dedication. Dedication is very important. Be dedicated to your job because you're getting paid for that. Loyalty, nobody is loyal to anybody. If your manager is loyal to you, then you be loyal to the company, but nobody is loyal. And something else I always advise people: forget about job security. There is nothing called job security. Nobody can secure a job. Even your manager, him or herself, can never secure their own jobs. There is something called career security. And the only way to really secure your career is by yourself, by building a good reputation, by being good at work, by being ethical at work, so that when you jump ship from a company to another, everybody is gonna be your safety net. So
Exactly.
ما في شيء اسمه job security وما في شيء اسمه loyalty.
It's you know, it's your brand name. You're building your brand with your
صح.
with your you know, the way you deal with people, with your relationship with people. You said something reminded me of a funny story. um, um, in my last job, I had an extremely good relationship with my boss, and it put me in you know, in a position where I was like very relaxed, you know, though knowing that corona is there and everything is not stable, but I have very good relationship with my job, with my boss, therefore everything is going well. And you know what happened? Me and my boss, we both got redundant.
Yeah, exactly. It happens. Also, look, Masoud, there's something very risky, which I learned the hard way in the very, very past. Never follow the path of your boss. Always walk in parallel, because if your boss falls down, you're gonna fall after him or her. So always be with them on the parallel path. Look, I had a lot of loyalty to bosses. I'll be honest with you, and I love that, and I will never regret that. But I think it's a dangerous thing because, as you said, even the boss himself or herself, you know, in business, companies go, companies come, companies crash, things happen, Corona comes.
Yeah.
So keep your dedication to your job and your loyalty to yourself.
What is your passion now, Hussein? What is it
I
that
like a lot.
Hmm.
I like to write a lot. I write a lot. I like networking with people. I have a very big passion in connecting with people. I cannot live a day without getting to know new people every single day. This is really what keeps me energetic and creates my self-generated positive energy. I'm not into, you know, hobbies like others. My hobbies are more people-focused. I like some sports. I like videography. I like to do a lot of videos. And I play music as well.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
Beautiful. What are you writing?
I write on LinkedIn every day. I have a post. I write about facts, corporate facts. I write about people. I write about corporate cultures. I write about logistics, which is my passion. I've been in this industry for 20 years. And this industry today is evolving into the 2.0 version of logistics, which is very exciting. So I write about different topics every day, and I learned what people really need to read about. So I share my experience, or if I'm allowed to say, I donate my experience every single day on LinkedIn. I have 1 or 2 posts, and I continue because people want it, and people really encourage me for that, to share my knowledge and experience. Many of them will learn from that, and I want people to learn from my own mistakes before having the chance to learn from their own. So you avoid them maybe going into mistakes which you have personally faced across your corporate career.
Wow, wow, amazing. I have personally learned a lot from you, Hussein, today.
Thank you. Thank you.
A lot of learning, and I think I will start supporting you and follow your steps in actually acknowledging people who are going extra mile, people who need to be
Excellent.
acknowledged, and I'll make sure I'll keep that on social media.
Excellent.
And I think this is an opportunity that we can actually make this big. We can actually start talking to people about this, and I think if one person can do this every single day, we can make a lot of difference in other people's lives. And maybe
Can
one
I
day,
give an idea? I'm going to
yes,
announce something now publicly. Whoever is seeing that, and me and you can work on this.
yes,
We need to
please.
allocate 1 day in a year, and we can call it the World's Frontliners Day, where everybody should acknowledge those people. Let's do it. Let's think of it. I think every day per year, it can happen. It will remind people of that. You can acknowledge millions of people across the world. So it can be a good initiative that we can work on out of the UAE, which is the most service-centric country in the world.
Wow, wow, amazing. Yes, I'm definitely in. Um, Inshallah, let's get together, fix a day, and
Definitely.
um, I can see this going big. I love the effect of that, reminding people every year that there's some people out there serving you
Exactly.
without we actually feeling it. They make our life easier wherever you go. So a round of applause to all of them. Um, at least 1 day a year is something we can definitely work on.
Exactly.
Hussein, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this interview with you, and
Same here.
hopefully, inshallah, we'll see you more in Wisdom
Inshallah.
Wednesday
Of
um,
course.
in the coming days, inshallah.
Thank you, Masoud. I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate your attention to this, because you are an amplifier maybe of such things that everybody should follow into. So thank you, and good luck on your future episodes. I'll be watching you eagerly every week.
Inshallah, inshallah. Thank you so much, Hussein, and have a lovely day.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you.